Hi everybody, I hope you're all okay. Right, we've got up to chapter 8 of Stormbreaker. So this chapter is called Looking for Trouble, and this is part 1. Okay, Alex saw it the moment he opened his eyes. It would have been obvious to anybody he'd slept in the bed, but of course nobody had slept in that bed since Ian Ryder had been killed. It was a triangle of white folded into the canopy of the four-poster bed. You had to be lying on your back to see it, just like Alex was now. It was out of his reach. He had to balance a mattress and then put a chair on top of it and then stand on the chair to reach it. Wobbling, almost falling, he finally managed to trap it between his fingers and pull it out. In fact, it was a square of paper, folded twice. Someone had drawn on it. A strange design with what looked like a reference number written beneath it. Okay. There wasn't very much of it, but Alex recognised Ian Ryder's handwriting. But what did it mean? He pulled on some clothes, went over to the table and took out a sheet of plain paper. Quickly he wrote a brief message in block capitals. Found this in Ian Ryder's room. Can you make any sense of it? Then he found his Game Boy and inserted the Nemesis cartridge into the back, turned it on and passed the screen over the two pieces of paper, scanning first his message and then the design. Instantaneously he knew a machine would click on in Mrs. Jones's office in London and a copy of the two pages would scroll out the back. Maybe she could work it out. After all, she was supposed to work for intelligence. Finally, Alex turned off the Game Boy, then removed the back and hid the folded paper in the battery compartment. The diagram had to be important. Ian Ryder had hidden it. Maybe he'd given his life for it. There was a knock at the door. Alex went out and opened it. Mr. Green was standing outside, still wearing his butler's uniform. "Good morning," Alex said. "Brr." Mr. Green gestured, and Alex followed him down the corridor and out of the house. He felt relieved to be out in the air, away from all the artwork. As they paused in front of the fountain, there was a sudden roar, and a propeller-driven cargo plane dipped down over the roof of the house and landed on the runway. "If Griggly," Mr. Green exclaimed. "Just as I thought," Alex said. They reached the first of the modern buildings, and Mr. Green pressed his hand against a glass plate next to the door. There was a green glow as his fingerprints were red, and a moment later the door slid soundlessly open. Everything was different on the other side of the door. From the art and elegance of the big house, Alex could have stepped into the next century. Long white corridors with metallic floors, halogen lights, the unnatural chill of air conditioning, another world. A woman was waiting for him, broad-shouldered and severe, her blonde hair twisted into the tightest of buns. She had a strangely blank, moon-shaped face, wide-framed spectacles, and no makeup apart from a smear of yellow lipstick. She wore a white coat with a name tag pinned to the top pocket. It read Vole. "You must be Felix," she said. "Or is it now I understand, Alex?" "Yes. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Fräulein Vole." She spoke with a thick German accent. "Sorry guys, I can't do German accent. You have to imagine it." "You may call me Nadia." She glanced at Mr. Green. "I shall take him from here." Mr. Green nodded and left the building. "This way," Vole began to walk. "We have 4 blocks here. Block A is where we are now. It is administration and recreation. Block B is software development. Block C is research and storage. Block D is where the main Stormbreaker assembly line is found." "Where's breakfast?" Alex asked. "You have not eaten? I will send you a sandwich." Herr Sale is very keen to begin at once with the experience. She walked like a soldier, back straight, her feet in black leather boots, rapping against the floor. Alex followed her through a door and into a bare, square room with a chair and a desk. And on the desk, the first actual Stormbreaker he had ever seen. It was a beautiful machine. The iMac might have been the first computer with a real sense of design, but the Stormbreaker had far surpassed it. It was black, apart from the white lightning bolt down one side, and the screen could have been a porthole into outer space. Alex sat behind the desk and turned it on. The computer booted itself instantaneously. A fork of animated lightning sliced across the screen, then a swirl of clouds, and then in burning red letters, SE. the logo of Sale Enterprises. Seconds later, the desktop appeared with icons for maths, science, French, every subject, ready to be accessed. Even in those brief seconds, Alex could feel the speed and power of the computer. And Harold Sale was going to put one in every school in the country. He had to admire the man. What a gift! "I leave you here," Fräulein Wahl said. "It's better for you, I think, to explore the Stormbreaker on your own. Tonight you'll have dinner with Herr Sale, and you will tell him your feeling." Yeah, I'll tell him my feeling. "I will have the sandwich sent in to you. But I must ask you, please do not leave the room. There is, you understand, the security." "Whatever you say, Mrs. Wahl," Alex said. The woman left. Alex opened one of the programmes and for the next 3 hours lost himself in the state-of-the-art software of the Stormbreaker. Even when his sandwich arrived, he ignored it, letting it curl up on his plate. He would never have said that schoolwork was fun, but he had to admit the computer made it lively. The history programme brought the Battle of Port Stanley to life with music and video clips. How to extract oxygen from water, the science programme did it in front of his eyes. The Stormbreaker even managed to make geometry almost bearable, which was more than Mr. Donovan at Brookland had ever done. The next time Alex looked at his watch, it was 1 o'clock. He had been in the room for over 4 hours. He stretched and stood up. Nadia Wahl had told him not to leave. But if there was any secrets to be found at Sale Enterprises, he wasn't going to find them here. He walked over to the door and was surprised to find that it opened as he approached it. He went out into the corridor. There was nobody in sight. Time to move.